Okay, Dennis Young here, another special guest, Kevin Trimmel, all the way up from Canada. And he's got an interesting story. He's also doing some really fantastic video with music and computers. And Kevin, thanks for coming on.
Well, thanks for having me. It's good to chat with you.
Yes. So let's first talk about your music. You've sent me all this over the years, music, video. I mean, you're really an expert at combining computer music with images. So explain how you do that.
Sure. I'll start at the beginning.
Sure.
In March of 2020, right when COVID started, I bought a little 21 key synthesizer.
Hmm.
I had been listening to your records for about 2 years, and I was really inspired by your synthesizer music, and I wanted
Sure.
to try it for myself. So I just got a 21 key synthesizer, but it had like synth pads on it too, like synth drum.
Right.
And I just started playing around with that. And I bought a little Sony recording device and started recording just ambient synth, just playing chords, doing ambient synth. And I recorded about an hour's worth of music over that like spring. But then once I had these recordings, I realized that I need editing software just to trim the tracks and do fade ins and fade outs. You know,
Right.
that basic cleaning up the tracks, because you can't just upload when you record. You can't just upload the original file, because
Right.
there'll be 10 seconds of silence at the beginning, 10 seconds at the
Yep.
end. So I looked at affordable um, sound editors, and I mean, I looked at Pro Tools, which is like the industry standard, but it's a little expensive.
Mm.
It can be. It's a
Right.
subscription. I think
Can
you
be
need a
right.
subscription, a monthly subscription for that. So I just bought something called SoundForge, and it was like $50, and it was like a one-time fee.
It
Just
can't
you,
be that.
yeah. So and it had mostly everything that Pro Tools had, except it didn't have the ability to layer audio tracks with lyrics. But I wasn't at that point yet.
Okay.
I was just needing to just do the fade ins and fade outs and adjust like the treble and the bass levels and the volume levels. So I use SoundForge to edit my ambient synth music. And then I also that summer I bought a little 3/4 size Yamaha acoustic guitar with
Mm.
nylon strings, and it sounded like kind of Spanish like. And I learned a couple chords on there, maybe 4 or 5 chords, and I just alternate playing these chords. And I recorded that. And my friend Josh, he's really good at writing poetry, and
Okay.
so he sent me these audio files of him reciting poetry, and I just layered that onto my guitar chords just to give it some ambiance. And so that was like the first time I layered lyrics. But how I figured out, this is a little loophole. I figured out that a free way to layer audio files, including lyrics and vocals, is Microsoft Clipchamp is a video editor on your computer,
Okay.
and but you can layer audio files in Clipchamp in the editing feature.
Oh,
So
really? I
yeah,
didn't know that.
yeah, I figured that out because only Pro Tools really has that layering feature where you can layer all these different audio tracks.
Right.
Most editors, it's just you can trim clips, but there's not a way to layer things.
Right.
So I was trying to create a video background using Microsoft Clipchamp, which comes with like Windows 10, um, and um, and I accidentally added two audio files at the same time, and I realized when I played it back, they were layered,
Oh,
and I
okay.
was
I
like,
didn't know
oh, so
that.
it was
That's
just an
pretty
accident.
neat.
Covered it. So that's what I used to layer all my lyrics and vocals, is actually using a video editor after the fact. Um, so um, so that's when I figured out that I could also um, use SoundForge to make remixes, and this is where it gets into all the computer stuff.
Okay.
Um, there's this site called Storyblocks, which has free royalty-free backing tracks, and
Oh, okay.
so I would download these backing tracks, and then in SoundForge I would take parts of them, like the favorite my favorite parts of these backing tracks, because they go on for 4 or 5 minutes. But there's these when you look at the audio, there'd be like these amazing little parts that sounded great, but it
Right.
would take a minute or two to kind of get to those parts.
Right.
So I would just grab the parts that I liked, and I started just creating my own tracks from those like 15 or 20-second parts, and created my own backing tracks. And then I also discovered something called HookPad, which is free online. I highly
Hmm.
recommend it for people. It's
Book
a
pad.
digital
Okay.
keyboard. Yeah, it's a digital keyboard that's free online. You just type in the chords and
Okay.
you hit play, and it plays your chords for you. And they have synthesizer settings, piano, violin, cello.
Oh,
You
wow.
can create a whole
Book pad.
orchestra. HookPad.
Okay. I have to.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's really cool. So, for someone that either can't afford a keyboard or they're
Hmm.
worried that they're not able to play the piano or keyboard, it's really easy to type in chords on your computer and hit play, and the computer does it for you. And the timing is always perfect. Like you can do like whole notes,
Yeah,
half
that's
notes,
something.
and it's because that's the thing too. Like when you're playing, you got to know how to like am I playing a quarter note here, a half note?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
the computer does that all for you, and it sounds I mean, it can sound a little robotic because it's
Yeah.
almost perfect. But I was able to create some backing tracks of my own using HookPad, and then these story blocks remixes I created, and then I started layering from like TV shows and movies just quotes,
Hmm.
um, like voice lines, because I didn't really like I don't sing, and I don't really have any friends that sing. So I just would grab like quotes from TV shows and movies, especially Star Trek, because I'm a huge Star Trek fan. So I would grab like all these Star Trek quotes, and I created like 50 minutes worth of just Star Trek synthwave.
Ah, that's
Uh,
pretty neat.
because synthwave is like that 80s synth, which works for like Next Generation and Deep Space Nine, because it was like in the 90s. So you
Hmm.
got like the 80s synth with like a
Yeah.
90s TV show. And I created like 50 minutes worth of music, which I put up on my channel. It's called Star Trek Retro Wave.
Okay.
Uh, and it's like 50 minutes worth of music. So that's pretty cool. But I really recommend HookPad. It's free. So
Now, everything's becoming more the music. You have a storyline too with Shipton. Can you explain that one?
oh yeah, yeah, Peggy Shippen. So
Right.
yeah, so okay, it's kind of a long story, but I'll try to make it short.
Sure.
um, there's this show on AMC back in 2015 called Churn Washington Spies, and it's
Right.
a historical drama, but it's also based on real events. It's about the Revolutionary War in 1776 in America, fighting the British, and Peggy Shippen was a British spy,
Hmm.
and she was like 17 or 18 years old. It's a true story. And she was her father was a judge, and she was really well off, and so she was a part of like the aristocracy. And she was like mingling with all the British officers.
Hmm.
And then when the Americans invaded Philadelphia, her dad was like a turncoat and kind of switched sides. And so then all of a sudden she was mingling with the rebels, like George Washington's staff, at these parties. So Major John Andre recruited her to be a spy,
Okay. Wow.
and so that's their storyline. And it's rumored they did this in the show. It's rumored that they had a love affair because she was a really beautiful woman. But so in the show they fall in love, but that's just a rumor. And in terms of the history, that's not proven. But in the show they fall in love. So they have these beautiful conversations, and I think J.J. Fields plays John Andre, and he's British, and he has this amazing, commanding voice, really charming
Hmm.
voice. And then her voice, I noticed, just sounded so cool because um, she's not British, but she doesn't really sound American either. She did like this like 1700s kind of accent of her own. She has a cool name. That actress, her name is Kanisa Solo,
I gotta check her out.
and
Huh.
she's an amazing actress, and she did this really cool voice for Peggy Shippen. And when I was listening to the show, I realized this would be great to layer into music.
Yeah.
So I have conversations between them, and what I did for that is I really like the Succession theme.
Hmm.
I think by Nicholas Bertel, if I remember the composer. The show Succession had amazing music. It's like piano, cello. And the chord progression is just so cool sounding. So I made a remix of the Succession theme, and then I layered in John Andre and Peggy Shippen's conversations, and it just has this ambiance where it's like powerful, like they're
It
talking back
is.
and forth, but it's powerful.
I
Yeah.
mean, your music's come a long way. I mean, from the early uh, clips you've sent me, I mean, it's really, really getting very intense. Some of the sounds and you're using like a drum machine sound too now, like
Yeah.
dance music type of music.
Yeah. Hookpad has a lot of synth drums.
It does. It sounds it.
Yeah.
It's amazing now what you can do on the computer, right? With just the tools you have and the ideas.
Yeah, it's amazing. And most of the stuff I used was free. I mean, even SoundForge was only $50 one time fee. So that's pretty affordable. And then I also started making album covers,
Oh,
uh,
okay.
and or at least backgrounds for the YouTube videos I'd make. And there's two amazing sites for that. Pixabay, Pix, like Pixabay.
Okay.
Um, it has royalty free stock photos that you can use online for YouTube videos.
Hmm.
And they also even have free videos backgrounds. And that's what I use when I made for your ambient synth music, like the drone footage of those castles and
Right.
the countryside. I just would download like 20 of those videos, drone footage clips between 10-20 seconds long, and then just edit that in Clipchamp into like a 2 or 3 minute video. And then you got like beautiful drone footage of these landscapes.
Hmm.
That's Pixabay. And then also like you can get these amazing stock photos. And then there's this site called Capwing, and it's also free. And that's where I was able to layer in fonts, like different fonts, like so you can put your name and the name of the album,
Right.
and so you can layer in different images. So,
Oh, okay.
so I would take like a picture of Peggy Shippen, and then layer that, put her in a castle, and then
Oh,
put the
okay.
font that says like Miss Shippen, and that's all in Capwing where you can layer things.
That's pretty neat. Now you can make some money at this, doing this for people. I mean, you've really got this down to a science.
Yeah, yeah, it's been about 5 years now of doing it fairly consistently. I mean, I've been working on it a few days a week for about 5 years.
Hmm. Well,
And I just found stuff online mostly for free. It's amazing what's available. It really, if you just type into Google what you need,
hmm,
most sites there's like no sign up. Sometimes there's limitations, like you can only create like 5 images in a day, or you know what I mean, or like you can only download a certain amount of images in a day. There's certain limits for free
yeah,
things, but if you're patient,
yeah. Are you using any AI tools for any of
uh,
this?
yeah, yeah. So that's a good point. For I took this image, a still image of Peggy Shippen, and I put it into an AI generator that creates videos out of images.
Oh, oh, wow.
So all of a sudden, she kind of comes to life, and she starts like looking around. And then in the background, there was an orchestra because it was at a party. The picture was at a party, so there's like violinists in the background. And in the original image, they're still. And when I put it into the AI generator, and this is a
Hmm.
free online generator, they start playing.
Oh, that's pretty neat.
Yeah, in the background. So
Wow.
it looked like in Harry Potter, there's the pictures that come to life, like or the
Right, right.
photos in Harry Potter, and it was always cool in the early 2000s. Like these, they would have like a picture of a newspaper, and the images were like moving around, like little videos or GIFs, and in these AI generators can create, like, you can take a still image of yourself, and the next thing you know, you're kind of like you start like turning your
Pretty
head
amazing
and
what
like
they're
moving
doing.
back and forth. Yeah.
What do you
So
think the future is with this AI? Do you think it's going to keep advancing to take over a lot of jobs that we do?
I think most of our music will become AI generated. So that's why if you do actually physically play an instrument, that music will become incredibly valuable because you'll get to say this is human
Mm,
made. This is human made.
right. I didn't think about that. You're right. Like, I think live shows are still relevant, at least. People still want to see live music. And
Yeah.
but I don't know how bands survive anymore, new groups. It's just must. terribly difficult to make a name for yourself.
It is difficult. Yeah, and that's just it. Like that's why I never thought to try to make money off this because the music industry is just so competitive
It is.
and it's hard to get views. I mean, like
I know.
I would post I put a month's worth of work into like a song and create a beautiful background and or an album cover that looks very professional. And you know, you get like if you're lucky, you might get 50 views.
Mm.
I'd post something and it'd be like a just for fun. I'd post like a little 1 minute song with a little music video, and it would actually get a lot of views.
Yeah.
And
That's
and
something.
it's just like I didn't expect it to. I just posted it for fun, just to like. Mostly, I post on my channel just to easily share it with my friends and family.
Okay.
Then send them a YouTube link instead of them having to download your files, right? And then yeah, I check once in a while, and it'd be like one time I got like 150 views on this 1 minute song I made. But I got to wonder, I'm like, was that genuine views or is that just bots or
Yeah. Well, I find a lot of it on doing shorts now. I use Canva and I make the shorts out of the long videos. I found most people are watching it on their phone for a minute, then they'll go to the next piece, And I'm wondering about the evolution of even cell phones. I think they'll be gone in 5 to 10 years. I'm sure there'll be another technology built in.
that's true. It could very well be like the glasses we're wearing right now could just be because there's all that VR technology. So it could
Right.
just be a pair of glasses you wear with a microphone built in, and you're just like
Yep.
looking, chatting with people with your glasses on, probably.
So let's talk about these lucid dreams, Kevin. I
Sure.
know this is exciting stuff. So talk about how this occurred.
Okay. In around like 2015, 2016, I really got into meditation and I started listening to these mantras. And this one mantra in particular, it's called the Medicine Buddha mantra.
Right.
And if you go on YouTube, it'll be a blue Buddha, and it's the Medicine Buddha mantra, also known as the mantra of immortality. And I think there's a Tibetan version and a Hindu version,
Hmm.
and they're both really beautiful. And and I'd been listening to these mantras, meditating, and then I was having trouble sleeping at night. So I put on the Medicine Buddha mantra one night, and I had like an astral projection experience. Like
Wow.
it just launched me where I knew I was dreaming. I was lucid.
Yeah.
I was in like this on this other planet,
That's
and
wow. That's wild.
there's these like tall Nordic looking beings around me, and they're like soul family, and they're like telling me things and showing me like this planet, and there's like literally like the little silver discs flying around, and I was looking at them.
That is amazing.
It was amazing. It was amazing. So then I every night for 2 years, basically from like 2016 to 2018, that's when I was doing
Hmm.
podcasts about this. I had a dream
Right.
journal. I had this dream journal, and I was listening to that Medicine Buddha mantra every night. And I would say 9 times out of 10, I'd have these like lucid astral experiences,
Hmm.
and I was writing them down. And then in 2018, I stopped doing that because it wasn't very restful.
I'm
I,
sure not. Every
no,
night?
I was becoming kind of a nervous wreck. Like I was sleeping,
Oh
but I
boy.
was having these experiences at night, so I wasn't getting enough like actual sleep, like rest.
Hmm.
So I eventually stopped, and like once in a while I'll have one. But I'm still even with normal dreams, like where you dreamed about like your like what you did the previous day or friends and family or whatever or childhood memories. I'm still very lucid. Like I'm aware that I'm dreaming. Like last night, I dreamt I was on a boat
Hmm.
with some friends, and they're people I know from my life. So it seemed pretty normal that we're just on this sailboat. But then I became aware. I'm like, this is a dream.
Oh wow. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, and then I followed the work of this one gentleman called Dan Winter, and he teaches a lot about Kundalini
Oh yeah.
awakening.
He's a genius.
He's a genius. He
Oh
is.
my God. He's
He's like the old
unbelievable.
Obi-Wan Kenobi
Yeah.
Jedi master of like Kundalini and astral projection.
Oh, he gets so deep. I can't watch too much more of it. It just you only take so much. I mean, unless you're really into what he's doing, it's intense.
It's intense. He's a genius. Yeah, it's
He
hard, and so
is.
it can be sometimes hard to follow.
Yep,
Uh,
that's what it is.
but he did say that the more you lucid dream, the more you take memory through death, and you will
Okay.
remember your past lives and your next reincarnation more so, depending on how lucid of a dreamer you are in this lifetime. So if you want to remember your past lives, like if you're gearing up for the next lifetime, you want to remember this incarnation and maybe even previous ones in your
Mm,
next lifetime, you want to get into practice of lucid dreaming, and the whole reincarnation process, if you believe in reincarnation,
right.
will will be more like conducive to memory, so you don't get blank slated when you're born.
Right. Yeah, we don't remember anything. So what's the practice of this? How would you start for somebody out there that wants a lucid dream?
I would just start with playing this mantra softly at night as you're falling asleep. And when you first start falling asleep, that's a perfect time to meditate for the first
Mm,
20 or 30 minutes. If you can just lie there, or even start by like sitting upright and with your eyes closed, and just listening to the mantra. And then when you start getting sleepy, lie down, but have it on a loop so that when you're sleeping, your brain is still absorbing the mantra. And I don't
okay.
know why the medicine Buddha mantra in particular, at least for me, really launched me into the astral space. I'd
Mm,
listened to other mantras, like the Gayatri mantra, which is a Tibetan one. And that's a beautiful mantra to meditate to. It really makes you feel at ease. But it was the medicine Buddha mantra, and it is the mantra of immortality. What it's called.
oh, okay.
And then it made me think about what Dan Winter said about like taking memory through death. That is a form of immortality. If you're able to preserve your
Right,
memories
right. I
lifetime after
agree.
life, it's
I
it's a
think
form of
that
immortality, really.
the Tibetans with that rainbow body, right? They meditate enough where they're almost like light. They've got that light being part of their body that's taken over their physical, I guess. And then when they die, they're aware of it. That's, I think, your ultimate goal. If you in the future, if you do it this lifetime or next one, I don't know. I guess it
Exactly.
depends where you're at, spiritually.
That's right. So it's a good practice to get into, and just meditating in general. I would say like if even if you put aside like 20 or 30 minutes a day, and you do the upright meditation. But something Buddhists do too is they do walking meditation. So if you're out in
Mm,
nature, you got your headphones on and you listen to these mantras walking through a forest, that's a
mm,
form of meditation too. You don't always have to be sitting in a dark room with your eyes half
okay.
closed. Walking meditation, just getting these mantras in your head invokes something within us to awaken. It must activate the pineal gland in some way.
Right. What about the Om mantra where you're constantly saying Om, Om? Is that part
Yeah,
of
I've
that
listened to
too?
the I've listened to the Om mantra. I find it relaxing. I don't know if it induces astral experiences though. I think it's more of a relaxation thing. The Oms and the Ohms. Um,
But
but yeah, the medicine Buddha mantra, and
I
and
got to
also the
check that
Gayatri
out.
mantra. Yeah, yeah, check that out.
It's on YouTube, the Medicine Blue mantra.
Yeah, it's on YouTube,
Okay.
and you'll recognize it. It'll have I think the hour-long version is a blue Buddha.
Okay.
It's the
Okay. I got
background.
to check that out. Because I would like to try it. I mean, I wouldn't want to do it on a regular basis, but I'm looking to find other ways to be creative too. I mean, this has got to enhance your creativity.
Yeah, for sure. Because a lot of times we get inspired in our dreams. It's almost like the muses, where you get inspired by like musically or even artistically. Especially if you're a visual artist, if you dream
Mm,
astral experiences, it'll really help with visual art for sure. Because you can basically paint or draw these amazing landscapes or futuristic settings you go to.
right. Isn't it within the astral, there's like the lower astral and the higher astral. Isn't there different astral planes that come into play?
There does appear to be different frequencies. Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I've had like negative astral experiences too, and that's got to be like a lower frequency.
Mm,
To get pulled down or sucked down, probably because of the maybe you're holding on to some negativity. We're all light and dark. We all have the
we
shadow.
are.
So there might be aspects of your shadow that you have to do shadow work, and you go down into the lower astral, and there's kind of like demonic things you might encounter. It's very nightmarish.
I'm
Um,
sure. We've had
I've
those.
yeah, I've had those. I've encountered like strange, scare, frightening looking beings that were like chasing me
Oh my
or
gosh, yeah.
or like trying to like grab onto me and like pull on me, and you can almost feel it like in your sleep. You feel like someone's like grabbing you.
Oh boy.
Yeah, so that can be scary, but if you're able to listen to these mantras, I think the mantras help to elevate you.
That's what it is. That's what you want, I think. I
Yeah.
mean, we've got such fear in this world. The whole world's based on people being afraid. We can't be afraid anymore. Everybody's afraid of everything. That's what they make everything to be. And, we just have to try to block that out.
Yeah, and work on your own shadow. I mean, there's a lot of like traumas that everyone goes through trauma,
Yeah.
not just childhood traumas, but like adult traumas. Just and you might not even recognize it as a trauma at the time. A friend of mine, he was just working 2 days ago, and someone had a heart attack in his workplace, and they had to give
Wow.
this gentleman CPR, and my friend had to hold his head as they were
Hmm.
administering CPR, and he's going to have to process that because like this man almost died in his arms. Now, luckily, the ambulance arrived, and he was taken to the hospital and he recovered. But like that's even as an adult, something like that can cause trauma. And then next thing you know, that might actually kind of lower your frequency, even though you didn't do anything wrong.
Right, right.
Can lower your frequency. So then if you're not careful, you might start having like nightmares about something similar, like
Yeah.
someone dying in your arms or something because this happened to you in real life.
Yep. Well, I had a really interesting experience on Sunday. A childhood friend died in April, and I knew him since a kid. We always talked, and he was into football. So Sunday, the game started. We had a power outage. The TV wouldn't start at 1 o'clock when the game started.
Mm.
So the TV went back on. The remote was stuck. I couldn't change the remote channel, change the batteries, everything, shut off the TV, turned it on again. It worked. Now,
Yeah,
that is not a sign from the other side, right?
for sure. Yeah, yeah. It's funny how like spirit can affect technology sometimes.
Yep. So that was an interesting thing that happened. So you never know in this world what's gonna happen. So what are you gonna do? Some more? Continue to explore music and video and
Yeah, I'm not sure what my next move is. I was really happy with how my Star Trek synthwave, retrowave, worked out. That took about a month, and it was
hmm,
like almost every day for a month, and I got a little burnt out from doing that. Um, and I've been working on it like for about 5 years. I made like hundreds of remixes,
wow.
like without exaggerating, literally probably 300 or 400 remixes. I think on my YouTube channel, because I always would upload to YouTube, even if I just have it unlisted. I kind of use the YouTube server as to store my content.
Okay, that's
uh,
great.
because my little laptop that I use only has like 200 gigs of free space.
Mm.
So I think on YouTube I have like 450 videos that are unlisted, and right now I just have one up, and I kind of do that. I usually just have one up at a time for some reason. I don't like having like all my stuff out there because a
Yeah,
lot of it was works in progress that like I'd make a remix and then I'd be like, oh, there's a mistake in there. I'd listen to it and I'd be like, oh, I could have done this better. So everything has just been like improving upon the next or the
that's all
last
you
thing.
can do. Now,
So
are
all you can
these
do.
are
Yeah.
these on YouTube? Are these not done yet? Is that why you don't put them up? They're just like a work in progress.
I am a perfectionist, so even if there's a tiny mistake that no one else would notice, but I notice it, it drives me crazy. So the thing about the Star Trek, the 50 minutes of it, it's perfect. I've listened to it all the
Oh,
way through,
great.
and
Right.
and it's 50 minutes of in my mind like perfect mixing. So that's the big sound mix that's up right now. So that's like my proudest achievement. And that's a mixture of like story blocks, backing tracks, like I said, like that I remix, and then I have a few of my own mixed in there too. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna take a break for a while.
I think
I also
it's good
yeah,
to take a break from music, what you're doing, and then you're refreshed again with new ideas. I've always done that.
you do come back refreshed.
Yep.
I call it Beethoven syndrome, where you work yourself to the bone,
Yep.
and and you get really burnt out. And like Beethoven was kind of obsessive with like perfection and getting everything right, but he kind of like wore himself out.
Hmm.
And I always thought to myself, if he had just given himself just like a few months at a time to recover and enjoy life, maybe he would have written actually even more music.
Right, right. But I
He
agree
didn't
with
actually
that.
write that much music. I mean, I think he has 10 symphonies or something like that
That's
compared to
something.
Mozart, which has like 40 or 50.
Right. I didn't think about that. You're right. That's the way to do it. So where can they find you on YouTube? What's your channel again?
Oh, okay. So my it's a silly name. It's called Shuffle Bunny. And I really like shuffle dance music and techno music.
Right.
And so that's why I call it Shuffle Bunny, like just like shuffle dance music. Because I noticed, especially in like the 90s techno, which I used to listen to a lot, um, they did that. They'd have spoken word voice lines, just
Hmm.
like I was adding in quotes from TV shows and movies. It would be like just like a random quote um, during these like techno songs. It wasn't actually singing. Um,
Okay.
a lot of that like old club music was it would just be like random quotes. So that's where I got that idea from. So yeah, the channel's called Shuffle Bunny, and then right now I got Star Trek retro wave on there because it's like there's the synth wave retro wave genre, and that's what it is. It's more retro wave though because it's more 80s sounding.
Right. That's
Yeah,
great. I mean, you keep improving. Thanks for keeping me in the loop on all this. Your improvement over the years continue to advance with this
well,
music. It
well,
takes time.
it takes time, and thanks for listening, and also thanks for sending me your records, and
Oh, sure.
that really inspired me. I don't think I would have done this if I hadn't listened to your music.
Well,
Honestly, I
thank you. That's really something.
because
Yeah.
I'm not, I don't actually consider myself a true musician. I just got inspired by your music, and then I wanted to try it too.
Well, I did it by, improv also at the beginning. I was experimenting and then it just kept growing and getting better. So it didn't happen overnight. There was a lot of trial and error. I think it really started happening when I got the 4-track machine recorder back in the 80s. And then I had a couple synthesizers and then I was able to put things together. But before that, it was just a reel-to-reel tape machine. And I was
Wow.
just doing a lot of jams and, just weird stuff. So that's what
Yeah,
it is. Just got to keep exploring.
for sure. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, anyway, well, I'm glad you came on, Kevin. It was great to see you again and keep the music going and we'll keep in touch.
For sure. Thanks for having me on.